You, a buyer hunting for value, will discover 6 Arizona cities where typical home prices sit under $300,000 as of February 2nd, 2025. This is fact-checked data, not a rumor, and by the end of this video, you will know exactly which places to target, what the trade-offs are, and the concrete next step to take. Right now, the national average house price is $438,108, and the Arizona average sits near $140,700. But tucked inside the Grand Canyon state are real communities priced far below that coastal expectation. We begin quietly, looking at overlooked towns where bargains hide. Then we build toward busier, sun-heavy markets where demand spikes and opportunity peaks. By the time we slow down at the end, you will have a clear shortlist and a checklist to move fast if you want to buy. Keep listening. Every detail matters. 1 Eloy sits in Pinal County, about 1 hour between Tucson and Phoenix, a railroad town that kept its price tags low even as the region grew. The average home there is about $279,180, which makes Eloy a genuine bargain for buyers who want proximity to 2 metros without paying metro premiums. The reason is simple. Land and housing stock are plentiful, local wages are lower than in the big cities, and much of the inventory is older, well-built homes priced for value rather than flash. That mix creates opportunity for first-time buyers, investors looking for rental yield, and families who want larger yards for less money. What to expect? Steady daytime life, easy access to skydiving and outdoor recreation, and commutes that stretch when you head to Phoenix at peak hours. If you plan to work downtown in Phoenix, budget travel time, and consider remote or hybrid options. For investors, look for homes close to main arteries and light commercial hubs. These show the fastest rental demand. Eloy is blunt and practical, not glossy, and that bluntness is why its prices remain accessible. 2 Hedrick Acres. Hedrick Acres sits as a surprising pocket of affordability within the greater Tucson area. Average homes here sell near $208,116, and the neighborhood's close distance to downtown, roughly 4 miles, gives buyers the rare combination of urban access and low price. Hedrick Acres attracts people who want restaurants, bars, and city amenities without the city price. Why prices stay low? Many homes are modestly sized, and the inventory cycles faster than in pricier suburbs, so motivated sellers and cash buyers still find bargains. If you value nightlife, quick commutes, and a community that hums after dark, Hedrick Acres delivers. The trade-off may be older infrastructure and mixed zoning, so focus on inspections and local crime and school data before you commit. For renters and short-term investors, proximity to downtown keeps vacancy lower than you might expect for a submarket this affordable. 3 Sierra Vista is a southeastern Arizona town with scenic trails, birdwatching reputation, and a strong military presence nearby that stabilizes demand. The average home value here sits just under $300,000 at about $299,097, making Sierra Vista the sort of place where outdoor life meets practical housing costs. What buyers get? Crisp mountain air, an active small city main street, and steady local employment linked to defense and services. Why prices remain reasonable? The city's economy is regional rather than metro, keeping wage pressure lower than in growing coastal or valley markets. For families, Sierra Vista offers parks and landmarks with community ties. For retirees, it offers quieter streets and lower cost of living. If you need high appreciation in the short term, this market may not sprint, but it can deliver stability and sensible monthly costs. 4 Globe feels like an old-fashioned western town, small, tight-knit, and centered on natural beauty. The population has been steady for decades, and the average home price is about $235,891. Globe sits in the center of the Tonto National Forest and offers mountain vistas and a slower pace that many buyers now prize. Buyers who win here want outdoor access, lower taxes, and smaller town life. The drawback is fewer high-paying jobs within city limits. Many residents commute or work locally in tourism, services, and mining-related work. For remote workers who value views and affordability, Globe can be a hidden gem. Investors should look for homes close to the historic center or near established trailheads. These properties age well in desirability for rentals and seasonal visitors. 5 Springerville is where nature grows louder. The White Mountains and Apache Sitgreaves National Forest sit nearby, and the average housing price rests around $256,095. If you want long hikes, starry skies, and a small community that revolves around outdoor life, Springerville answers that call without the coastal price. Why that matters? Buyers from pricier states can stretch savings here, trading commute speed for nature access. The market favors buyers who plan to live locally or who see vacation rental potential during peak seasons. Infrastructure can be limited compared with metro areas, so plan logistics carefully. Schooling, healthcare, and shopping may require trips to larger towns. For many, the trade-off is worth it. Space, quiet, and a lower purchase price that buys lifestyle more than speed. 6. Yuma. We build to a peak with Yuma. Named the sunniest city on Earth by Guinness, Yuma basks in sun most of the year and attracts seasonal residents, agricultural workers, and winter visitors who crave warmth. The average home price here is about $294,246, placing Yuma on this list, but with higher livability signals than many smaller towns. Yuma's strengths are obvious: strong seasonal rental demand, robust agricultural employment, and an all-year Sunbelt climate that draws retirees and snowbirds. That same popularity means higher competition for the best homes, and the market can move fast when winter season approaches. For buyers, Yuma offers a blend of affordability and activity. For investors, seasonal rentals or long-term tenants tied to agriculture can deliver steady returns. If you want the most visible opportunity on this list, the place where demand and price meet most clearly, Yuma is your climax: accessible, attractive, and time-sensitive. Slow down what this means for you. You have now heard the 6 names, the typical price ranges, and the core trade-offs. The pattern is clear. Affordability in Arizona appears where local economies are regional rather than metro, where land is still available, and where lifestyle choices, proximity to nature, or seasonal climate trade against immediate urban convenience. If you watched for deals, your checklist is simple. Prioritize inspections, verify commute and service access, and be ready to move when a well-priced, well-located home appears. Next steps I recommend: build a target list of neighborhoods from this video, connect with 2 local agents who specialize in value markets, and set alerts for new listings with price bands spelled out in your search. If you want, I will follow this video with part 2 covering the remaining 6 Arizona cities and a side-by-side comparison that shows fast movers, best rental plays, and the one neighborhood you should tour first. That follow-up will close the circle: quieter towns, rising markets, and the easiest places to convert savings into quality of life. When you are ready, we will go deeper into offer strategy, inspection red flags, and how to spot a true deal from a listing that only looks cheap on paper. Sources and verification. All city price figures and the summary list are taken from a fact-checked Finance Buzz piece that compiled average home values and local notes as of February 2nd, 2025. 7 Coolidge sits like a living museum of Arizona's deeper past. It's home to the Casa Grande Ruins National Monument, one of the state's oldest preserved archaeological sites, dating back to 1892. The city blends history with hope, and its homes still hover around an average price of $281,055. This is where affordability meets meaning. Coolidge isn't simply a cheaper city, it's a place where the ground itself holds centuries of story. Buyers drawn here often care about peace, privacy, and the sense of belonging to a town that values its roots. It's far enough from the big cities to stay calm, but close enough to access Phoenix or Tucson when needed. Why it remains affordable comes down to timing and growth. Coolidge hasn't seen the explosive tech and logistics developments that hit nearby areas, but those waves are approaching. Smart buyers see Coolidge as the quiet phase before the noise, a strategic buy before inevitable expansion. 8 Mayer Drive North, and you'll find Mayer a rural gem with rolling hills, friendly neighbors, and a housing price averaging around $238,000. Originally known as Antelope Station, this town carries the mood of an older Arizona: ranches, horseback tours, and a slower rhythm that city life forgot. The charm here is in the people. Mayer's close-knit feel makes it ideal for retirees, families escaping high rents, or remote workers wanting balance. Wildlife sightings are common, and life feels grounded in reality rather than rush. The affordability here isn't a sign of neglect, it's the reward for choosing calm over chaos. Many overlook Mayer because it doesn't shout for attention. But the moment you stand at Sunset Point and look across the valley, the decision to buy here feels emotional. It's the kind of place where home ownership becomes a lifestyle, not just an investment. 9 Nogales. Now we reach Nogales, a border city carrying both Mexican and American heartbeats. Average home values stand near $217,854, a number that surprises most people when they realize how much life this price can buy. Nogales isn't quiet in the usual sense. It's vibrant, full of energy, and alive with cross-border culture. The city thrives on trade, local markets, and constant movement. For buyers who crave connection, color, and affordability, Nogales delivers. The shopping scene is diverse, the outdoor life endless, and the cost of living among the lowest in southern Arizona. Its economy moves differently, influenced by two nations, two currencies, and one shared border. That unique balance makes Nogales more stable than outsiders assume. Homes here are not only cheaper, they hold strong rental potential for residents tied to border commerce and tourism. 10 Safford sits beneath Mount Graham, a quiet city with observatories and mountain trails that remind you nature still rules the desert. The average home here costs about $275,955, a price that feels gentle compared to urban Arizona. Here, stars guide both scientists and dreamers. The Mount Graham International Observatory and Acre Observatory bring researchers and visitors, fueling a local economy built on education, tourism, and community pride. The city's affordability is a byproduct of measured growth, slow, steady, and rooted in realism. For those craving serenity, Safford is a perfect midpoint. Not too isolated, not too busy. You can live close to beauty without paying city premiums. The trade-off is that jobs can be specific, scientific, educational, or seasonal, but that same focus keeps real estate honest. 11 Douglas feels like a time capsule of Arizona's industrial rise. Founded in 1901 near the Mexican border, this town built its legacy on copper mining and cattle ranching. Its architecture still whispers that history. And while other regions inflated in price, Douglas stayed grounded. The average home sells for about $175,515. Douglas is for people who value authenticity. The homes are older, yes, but sturdy, built when craftsmanship mattered. The first international U.S. airport opened here, and that pioneering spirit lingers. For investors, Douglas is a pure value play. It's one of the last cities in Arizona where ownership costs less than many down payments elsewhere. The culture is deep and proud, shaped by heritage and resilience. It's a city where stories matter as much as square footage, and those who buy here often stay for generations. 12 San Luis. Finally, San Luis, Arizona's second-largest port of entry, sitting across from Mexico's San Luis Rio, Colorado. With an average home price of about $233,586, San Luis offers affordability, safety, and a surprisingly strong quality of life. Residents here enjoy one of the lowest crime rates in the state and a community built on cooperation and hard work. The border gives it life, not chaos, creating a rhythm where trade, travel, and friendship fuel the economy. Outdoor activities like sailing and swimming keep the weekends full, and local families hold deep pride in their town's unity. San Luis is where affordability meets future growth. As logistics and trade between the U.S. and Mexico expand, the surrounding real estate quietly appreciates. Those who buy early are positioning themselves in a region that will only become more valuable as border infrastructure evolves. Across all 12 cities, one truth stands: affordability still exists in America, just not where most people look. Arizona proves that dream homes under $300,000 aren't myths, but measurable, reachable opportunities. From Eloy's open plains to San Luis's cross-border heartbeat, these towns show the contrast between national averages and local possibilities. The contrast between what people assume about the West Coast and what is actually unfolding inside the state. So the next move is yours. You've heard the facts, the prices, the lifestyles. If you're serious about owning, not renting, start here. Save this video, share it with someone hunting for a home, and remember this: opportunity doesn't announce itself with a billboard. It hides quietly in places like Coolidge, Mayer, and Nogales, waiting for those who pay attention. Because when everyone else is looking at California, the smart ones are quietly buying in Arizona.